Hello everyone, Harrison Kratz here for Engage TV. Clearly, I'm at BlogWorld, and I'm here with Mike Schneider, or at Schneider Mike.
Schneider Mike,
yeah, exactly, as many of you know. And Mike actually was on the keynote last night, monitoring the panel. As far as LBS, is it the big thing, or is it a bunch of BS, right?
Mega LBS or Mega BS? That's the title of the panel we came up with.
Now, you guys spoke with a lot of the big brands. What were some of the key conversations that came out of that conversation last night?
Last night we talked a lot about loyalty, discovery, and deals. So we had the three major brands talk about those three things. So American Express talked a lot about loyalty, their new Smart Offers platform, that basically allows you to link your American Express card to your Foursquare account or to your Level Up account, and makes the transaction seamless. So if you go to a vendor, you check in on Foursquare, you swipe your card, then it gives you a $5 rebate later, which is pretty cool. And that's just like they're kind of scratching the surface of what they want to do. All the big vendors, or all the big brands last night talked a lot about sort of the lab, and testing and test and learn, and that's kind of what we talk about in location-based marketing for dummies too. So it's good to see these huge brands doing that. Pepsi talked a lot about deals and the things they're using for deals, but they also talked about loyalty, the Bonds program, that they're actually you hook your Foursquare account up to your Bonds account, and Bonds, not only do they analyze your transaction data, but they also analyze your Foursquare data. So if you get the Gym Rat badge, they offer you like health and Pepsi products. They offer you like Gatorade, and they're seeing that that sort of that's becoming relevant. People are redeeming the coupons, and they're using the coupons based on Foursquare data versus purchase data. And Disney talked a lot about discovery. So another thing that
and they're with GoWalla. They do a lot of stuff with GoWalla.
They do a lot with GoWalla. Disney's all about surprise and delight, and when you go to the Disney park, the idea is that every experience is going to be, you go in and it's the same thing every time. It's the same product.
It's always a unique experience.
Experience it a little bit differently, and so this is just another way to experience Disney. And there was a guy who asked a question last night. His name was Basil, and he said, I did all my checking in on Foursquare, and I didn't know about GoWalla, and now I know, and I'm kind of pissed off. And I was like, well, did you have a good time at the park when you were there? He's like, yeah, I had a great time. He's like, now do you want to try GoWalla? And he's like, yeah, I do. So it's just another way for when he goes back, he can try this GoWalla experience. He can collect the stamps, he can get the mouse ears, and you can check in here on GoWalla.
I did, and actually I've been all about GoWalla lately because I had Mashable Connect last week. That was the main theme. Josh Williams spoke at the conference. We actually did a digital scavenger hunt with GoWalla through Magic Kingdom, and he did it with us too. So it was just like an awesome experience. Now, actually, I wanted to touch on GoWalla because I thought that you'd have a lot of insight on this. At the conference at Mashable Connect, Josh kind of conceded the check-in battle to Foursquare, and GoWalla's more of tell your story. How do you think that? Do you think that there is a lot of potential there in telling stories, because location-based and checking in doesn't really seem to be habitual for the mainstream? Do you think that that storytelling can become a habit for location-based check-ins?
Well, first of all, let's just talk about the conceding the check-in battle. Josh has never been in the check-in battle. He's had check-ins as part of his part of their application, but he's never thought of himself as a Foursquare competitor, because they think of themselves as doing something very different from Foursquare, and Dennis agrees. So they're kind of friends, and you
can actually check into Foursquare through GoWalla.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. So if you look at what Josh is trying to do, he's trying to help you tell a story about the place that you went, right? And he's trying to help promote discovery, and he's trying to do what we call delivering. What Alan Garrettson calls it relevant content delivered everywhere. So basically, what you're doing is you're placing pictures and tips in a place where people can use them and helping to discover. So I look at Josh a little bit like as a purist, right? He's had this vision from day one. He's stuck to that vision. He hasn't really gotten involved in all the check-in hoopla and all that kind of stuff. It's just like they happen to have check-ins and they happen to have pins and some game mechanics, but for them, they're kind of almost mocking gamification, because they'll do funny things like they have a Dennis Crowley pin, they've got a Gary Vaynerchuk pin, they even had a Foursquare pin. So it's like, we've got all this weird sort of gamification stuff that we can do, but it's not really core to what they're like. The pins that they want you to get are the trip pins, the exploration.
Yeah, like as if you'd have pins from where you.
Right. And did they use that in the scavenger hunt?
Yes, they had one pin and then obviously all the stamps, but they had the one pin for us for the mat. Like once you completed five of the challenges. But what was cool was that they did was that when you went to each place, there was a different thing to do there. Like take a picture of grandma during the carousel, through time at Magic Kingdom. So it was very cool.
Now, when you did the scavenger hunt, did you feel like how did you feel when you were using the wallet to sort of experience the park?
Oh, it was phenomenal because the thing with GoWalla and Foursquare is great for that simple check-in, but GoWalla, you really have that interactive experience. It actually kind of, I would even say, it does elevate the experience even more because you are able to share in a new way with the other people that can't be there. A lot of times when you go to Disney, you figure that there's always somebody back home that you wish that could experience it with you. And by checking in, doing the challenges, it was actually kind of that way to share the experience with everybody else.
And that's the one thing that I was talking about with GoWalla last night, and the interesting thing about it is when let's take Disney again as an example. When you check into Disney and you push your GoWalla check-in to GoWalla, and then you push it to sort of the Twitter or Foursquare or wherever else, the comments that come back are rarely, "Oh, you suck, you're at Disney and I'm not." It's usually, "Oh, I'm so happy that you're at Disney and you're having a good time." And here's another piece of how to sort of explore that. It'd be really cool if you can kind of capture that in GoWalla, and you can in the instructions, or not in the instructions, in the comments. But imagine like taking the semantics to the next level, where you could take your GoWalla Disney experience and reference it and drag it back to them, so that they can experience it sort of the way you did. Like they can look at your pictures, they can look at your highlights, they can look at those kind of things. And I think that's kind of one of the things that Josh hasn't really talked about it, but we've seen a lot of semantic use of a lot of apps that are kind of coming together. For instance, have you used Ditto?
I've not.
So Ditto is this new app by Yuri Engstrom, who founded Jaiku, and it was a Twitter competitor. And this Ditto, to me, feels like semantic Twitter, because it starts off, you've got like this crayon box at the top of things you can do, like you can go out, you can have coffee, you can exercise, and then so you click on one of those things, so you automatically categorize your Ditto, your tweet, it's like a tweet, and then you can drill down on that too, so you specify the kind of coffee you want from a latte, and it has a location component to it, so it knows that we're like in the Flatiron District, and then you can push it to Twitter or Foursquare. But the cool thing about it is like the semantics of it are captured, like the actual I want coffee, I want French press coffee is captured in the same way every time, versus saying I want a cup of Joe, I want a cup of coffee. So the analysis becomes very easy. So you've got like this person at decision point that people can kind of take advantage of. But the cool thing about it is that, so that's one piece of semantics, but what Yuri was supposing was that, what if we integrated with food spotting, and what if we integrated with Foursquare or GoWalla? So imagine being able to, let's say that you're really in the mood for Thai food right now, and I knew where you were, and I saw where you were, and I had a really good idea for a dish that I thought you would like. I could go to food spotting and drag that pad Thai in and say, "Here, try this pad Thai." Well, think about all the data that's surrounding there, right? Or surrounding that pad Thai. It's not just here's the dish. It's here's the restaurant that it's at. Here's all the reviews. And so this one simple drag spotting, you're unlocking all this additional data. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So, last question. I think what's really cool about location-based, and I think for large businesses and small businesses, they can really know who their community is and create community as well by with fun experiences like the GoWalla check-ins. What do you think is the most important aspect when building community?
The most important aspect of building community.
One of the most important aspects.
You have to. I really think that you can't just build a community and expect the community to just happen. You've got to continuously monitor the community and put time into the community, and you continuously update the content. The voice of if a brand is building a community, it's really important for the voice of that brand to be in the community, involved and participating in the community versus just assuming that it's going to happen. That's one important thing. The content is the most important thing. Content. It's all about content.
Absolutely. So Mike, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks so much, Harrison.
Now we can find you on Twitter at SchneiderMike.
At SchneiderMike.
And you have a book coming out as well, right?
Book coming out, Location-Based Marketing for Dummies. You can find that on Amazon, and you can watch us on Tech Interruption too, techinterruption.com.
Perfect. All right. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll have some more interviews for you soon.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.